The demon clown from Derry returns, but will he receive the same reaction he did in his last performance? Let's find out. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and the Emoji, the show where I analyze an upcoming film, tell you whether it's going to be good, and then even throw an emoji in the end for good measure. Today we're going to be talking about It Chapter 2. There hasn't been a ton of trailers up to this point, but the film is coming out shortly. Let's see if it can ride off the success of the first film. Throw up my chalkboard there, and let's get started. Well, we always like to start positive, so we are going to start with the good, and there is a lot to like about It Chapter 2 from what we've seen in the trailers so far. The first thing, you can't talk about It Chapter 2 without talking about the cast. I mean, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, Bill Hader, and Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise. This film is stacked, and stacked especially when you consider that it's a horror film. Horror films have been getting better and better actors lately, but this is a crazy cast for this film. One thing where this movie definitely picks up where it left off is in its creepy visuals. The first film was amazing at just making things look creepy, things look out of place, and that was really the best part of Pennywise, was his creepy nature. In this film they double down on that, whether it's that creepy old lady or Pennywise's face up against the funhouse mirror room. This movie looks creepy. It has creepy images that are sure to stick in people's minds when they think of it or It Chapter 2 in the future. The last good that I'm going to cover here is Pennywise himself. He's prominently featured in the trailers here, and for good reason. There's something about this character and the way that Bill Skarsgård plays him that's just so electric and magnifying that you find yourself unable to look away from this character. He no matter what he's doing, you're just tunnel vision in on him. And in these trailers, he looks spectacular, just like he was in the first film. I'm so excited to see what he does, especially because when you think back to the Tim Curry TV movies that they did, Pennywise wasn't actually as featured as you might remember. I'm happy to see that in these movies, in It Chapter 1 and what looks like it's going to be in It Chapter 2, they've put a prime focus on keeping Pennywise a major part of the film. Well, unfortunately, it can't all be good, and therefore we must move on to the bad. So, if I had one gripe about It Chapter 1, it was the horror. While I said that the movie was creepy, and while this trailer looks creepy, the horror for It Chapter 1 just wasn't totally there. When you think about great horror movies from recent memory, Hereditary, The Babadook, It Follows, those types of movies, they have genuine scary elements that even for adults, and trust me, I'm a baby when it comes to horror movies, I get scared instantly. It Chapter 1 didn't scare me. And from what I've seen in the trailers for It Chapter 2, it looks like pretty much the same. There's definitely the creepy imagery, but I want to see a horror movie that gets me out of the theater at night and I'm checking my back seat for balloons to pop up. I want this movie to scare me into not wanting to watch it again. Unfortunately, the trailers haven't really delivered on that. The first movie didn't deliver on that. Hopefully I'm wrong, but unfortunately, from what I've seen in the trailers, the bad, the horror, it just isn't quite there. We now move on to our second bad, and for me, this is a big one. It is a big trend in Hollywood today, the runtime. This movie is going to be 2 hours and 50 minutes long. Some people seem excited about that, love the longer movies, but the problem is that in movie making, the best thing to do is to keep it tight. The best movies are the tightest that they possibly can be, with no filler or fluff or unneeded things. Same with essays or anything like that. Unfortunately, this movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes, and I find it so hard to believe that they couldn't find just anything to cut out of this, that this is really going to be that dense in 2 hours and 50 minutes. I would be shocked if they couldn't find 25 minutes to cut from this film to match the already sort of long for a horror movie runtime of It Chapter 1. Okay, guys, it's time to get ugly. The Ugly is typically about the process or just something outside of the film. And I think for this film, The Ugly is more about the uphill battle that they have to climb. I'm talking about how the film is Chapter 2. And if you're familiar with it, either the TV movie or the book, it's no surprise that the first part is typically the better part. Most people, there's something special for a lot of people seeing the kids in Pennywise's playhouse, his world. Unfortunately, once you make that leap to the adults, it's not quite as entertaining. The story, at least, hasn't been. I know that they're going to try to bring the kids somewhat into this film as well, and, I'll be excited for that. But unfortunately, The Ugly goes to the uphill climb of trying to make the second part as interesting as the first part of it. Okay guys, time to mix things up a little bit, and we're going to talk about the ceiling and basement. I don't know what the hand thing was. The ceiling and basement, the best possible film that it could be, and the worst, and I use an example of another film, usually similar genres or something like that. Without further ado, let's start off with the ceiling. This is what I think the film could be at its pinnacle, what the very best. If the bad things aren't as bad as I think, and the good things are elevated, I think that this film could be as good as It Follows. Phenomenal horror film from recent memory. This film could even transcend the first It film, and that's why I didn't make the ceiling It Chapter 1. Let's get on to the basement. Now this is usually if my bad things are spot on and there's even some more bad things and the good things just don't elevate the film quite there. I think that this film could be as bad as Pet Sematary. Mediocre, not something that's terrifically highly reviewed, but it's also not something that's bottom terrible reviewed. I don't think that this film is going to completely tank. It's got a great cast. The director has proven himself with the first It. I think that this film at worst is mediocre, but at best could be fantastic. Okay guys, now it's time to talk about the verdict. It's my turn to tell you what to do, which is probably not why you clicked on this video, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The verdict, throw it up there. The verdict for It Chapter 2. If you like horror movies, if you like the first movie especially, go check it out. Go see it in theaters. It looks like it's going to be really fun. Don't check it out if you're afraid of clowns, or if you're really afraid of clowns. If you're afraid of clowns and you watch the first film, you should be fine. I say that without seeing the film first, but you should be fine. Yeah, go ahead and check it out. Go see it in theaters. Hey, if it's good, see it again. Okay guys, we have now come to the piece de resistance, the most important part, why you clicked the video, and the only thing that makes me special in this world, the ability to throw an emoji up on my left side here and tell you about, well, to basically just give you the emoji for what this film is going to be, the reaction you're going to get. So without further ado, let's throw it up. The It Chapter 2 emoji, there it is right there. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thank you for clicking on my face. Thank you if you hit a like. Awesome. We love you. Throw a comment down there. I've been going through some of our videos just to reply to some comments. I love having a discussion with you guys. I love being able to talk about movies, games, all of that stuff. If you have any ideas for other things you want to see us do, we're trying to make more content, so throw it down in the comments section. We try to read them all. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That'll give you a notification on your phone that tells you when we're making new videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy It Chapter 2 if you go ahead and check it out. I think it looks good. I don't think it looks particularly scary, but then again, I'm just not, particularly scared of clowns. Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.